probably regrouping for another offensive. Though I disagreed with Claudel's approach to the problem, I was with him on one thing. I could do without the rodents. Satisfied that I was alone for the moment, I refocused on the moldy crate at my feet. Dr. Energy's Power Tonic. Dead tired? Dr. Energy's makes your bones want to get up and dance. Not these bones, Doc. I gazed at the crate's grisly contents. Though most of the skeleton remained caked, dirt had been brushed from some bones. Their outer surfaces looked chestnut under the harsh illumination of the portable lights. A clavicle, ribs, a pelvis. A human skull. Damn. Though I'd said it a half-dozen times, reiteration couldn't hurt. I'd come from Charlotte to Montreal a day early to prepare for court on Tuesday. A man had been accused of killing and dismembering his wife. I'd be testifying on the saw mark analysis I'd done on her skeleton. It was complicated material and I'd wanted to review my case file. Instead, I was freezing my ass digging up the basement of a pizza parlor. Pierre Lamanche had visited my office early this morning. I'd recognized the look, correctly guessed what was coming as soon as I saw him. Bones had been found in the cellar of a pizza by the slice joint, my boss had told me. The owner had called the police had called the coroner had called the medico-legal lab. Lamanche wanted me to check it out. Today? S'il vous plaît. I'm on the stand tomorrow. The Petit trial? I nodded. The remains are probably those of animals, Lamanche said in his precise Parisian French. It should not take you long. Where? I reached for a tablet. Lamanche read the address from a paper in his hand. Rue Sainte-Catherine, a few blocks east of Centreville. CUM turf. Claudel. The thought of working with Claudel had triggered the morning's first damn. Around the island city of Montreal, the two main players in law enforcement are the SQ and the CUM. La Sûreté du Québec, or SQ, is the provincial force. The Police de la Communauté Urbaine de Montréal, or CUM, are the city cops. Luc Claudel and Michel Charbonneau are detectives with the Major Crimes Division of the CUM. As forensic anthropologist for the province of Quebec, I've worked with both over the years. With Charbonneau, the experience is always a pleasure. With his partner, the experience is always an experience. Though a good cop, Luc Claudel has the patience of a firecracker, the sensitivity of Vlad the Impaler, and a persistent skepticism as to the value of forensic anthropology. Snappy dresser, though. Dr. Energy's crate had already been loaded with loose bones when I'd arrived in the basement 2 hours earlier. I assumed the bone collecting had been done by the owner, perhaps with the assistance of the hapless plumber. My job had been to determine if the remains were human. They were. That finding had generated the morning's second damn. My next task had been to determine whether anyone else lay in repose beneath the surface of the cellar. I'd started with 3 exploratory techniques. Sidelighting the floor with a flashlight beam had shown depressions in the dirt. Probing had located resistance below each depression, suggesting the presence of subsurface objects. Test trenching had produced human bones. When I'd rendered my opinion, Claudel and Charbonneau had contributed to dams 3 through 5. SIJ, the crime scene unit, had been called. Lights had been set up, pictures had been taken. A ground-penetrating radar unit had been dragged around the cellar. It showed subsurface disturbances beginning 4 inches down in each depression. Otherwise, the basement was clean. While the SIJ techs took a break, I laid out 2 simple 4-square grids. I was attaching the last string to the last stake when Claudel enjoyed his Rambo moment with the rats. Using SIJ equipment, I shot prints and video. Then I rubbed circulation into my hands, replaced my gloves, folded into a squat, and began troweling soil from square 1A. As I dug, I felt the usual crime.